We're going to give this a shot. I'm John Guttmacher, author of the Florida Firearms book. Normally, I try to stick to firearms, weapons, self-defense, legal issues. But I'll go a little bit out of my comfort zone and see what everybody thinks about this video, because there are things that I think we need to talk about. I think there are things that need to come out. And I'm going to do it, at least try to do it, in this video. I want to start with what are the two primary causes of school shootings? And I want you to think about that. And if you think about it, I think you'll come up with the same answers that I have. Bullying and depression. Those are the two primary ones. That seems to be, as far as school shootings go, it runs in every single incident that we've seen. What are the causes of other mass shootings? Mental health issues, which is, bullying, depression, but sometimes dementia, sometimes schizophrenia, some other things. And of course, terrorism, which terrorism is an entirely different thing. That's Homeland Security and the FBI and things like that. But what have we been doing to argue as far as resolving the problem from the civilian standpoint of school shootings and other mass shootings? I think that what we come up with is we haven't been doing anything about finding a cure for the cause. We've been arguing about the method. It's guns, 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 guns. The fact that you can do it by a truck or by poison or by a knife or by 1,000 other things that have been used, okay, really isn't the point, because somebody out there just wants to argue about guns. And we've had assault weapon ban, an assault weapons ban for 10 years that did nothing. And we find out that guns aren't the answer for anything. They're the diversion. It reminds me very much of the times where all dictators have pointed the finger at some group or something and said, they're the cause of all our problems, and thereby taken the heat off themselves. So for 35 years, we've been arguing about guns. And we pretty much have been misdirected to disregard the cause of the problem. And again, for schools, it's bullying and it's depression. So you begin to wonder, why are we being distracted? And if we're being intentionally distracted, by whom? And in my estimation, if you haven't already noticed yourself, we're being increasingly made insensitive to violence, disrespect, outrageous conduct, sex without consequences, and we're becoming desensitized to all of these. I just went to a movie a few weeks ago, Deadpool 2, okay? Deadpool 2 took over $700 million worldwide. It took a little bit over $300 million in this country and over $400 million worldwide. That's the most disgraceful film in the world. I sat there and I enjoyed it. And I thought about it saying, what the hell am I doing enjoying this movie? This movie is making fun of cutting people into shreds with swords, into mass violence, into mass killings. It's all a big friggin' joke. And it's not a joke. It's it's a campaign to desensitize you and me. It's a campaign to praise disrespect. It's a campaign to ignore the unacceptable. It's a campaign to hate each other, okay, rather than to try to work things out and make things better for the group as a whole. And it's media. Media intentionally pits one side against the other, okay, and by doing so, it creates better and more media for itself, more viewers, more controversy, more conflict, more violence, more of all the stuff they've been desensitizing us about for years and years and years, successfully. And I'm trying to think to myself, what is the real purpose behind this? Okay? Well, like I said before, they're trying to take the heat off themselves. I mean, if you watch the amount of total crap they put on, it's all violence, it's all disrespect, it's all desensitizing us to everything that we should be holding dear, okay? And instead, we've got this terrible stuff on, and we all accept it. And I think that a big part of what's going on is an intentional act, an intentional method of keeping the heat off themselves. Because it makes them a lot of money. It really does. And the other thing is, and perhaps that by dividing the country, by desensitizing the country to violence and to get us to be more disrespectful to each other, maybe that makes us more susceptible to a foreign power to eventually take us over. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. But those are some of the things that I honestly think are concerns, big concerns. And let me make one other observation. And that's an observation of what I see from the left and the Democratic Party that really, really worries me. And it would worry me if the Republicans did it as well. But that's bullying. A major cause of all these problems is bullying. And that's what the Democrats are actually instigating and saying is something that their people should be doing. They are approving of bullying. And by that I mean blocking highways to make your point no matter who it hurts. That's bullying. Surrounding individuals at a restaurant or shouting at them as they walk down the street because they support President Trump. That's bullying. Shouting out contrary speakers at their own rallies. That's bullying. Throwing eggs at women and threatening children at a Trump rally or otherwise, that's criminal, but it's also bullying. So the abject glorification of this type of conduct by media proves the point that I'm trying to make. There are forces behind all this, and those forces are not your friend or my friend or even the friend of the Democrats or the left, because what they're trying to do is divide us. They're trying to make us insensitive to all the things that we should be sensitive to, and they are succeeding. Our nation is in trouble. Well, that's it for this particular video. I don't know if this will be appreciated or not. It's not my regular thing. It's something that, quite frankly, I've avoided getting into for probably 25 years. I try to just stick to what I'm an expert in. But I've seen it, I hear it, I look at it all day long, and it makes me mad. Thanks. Stay safe.